I heard it's No Nuance November, so here are my unsolicited astrology opinions. Let's go. First of all, Virgo's resting emotion is horny. You can't argue with me. I have never met a Cancer who isn't a bad bitch. I also have never met a water sign who can't absolutely throw ass. If you hate on Geminis, it's simply because they're funnier than you. Libras are fake. Like, as fuck. We're also incredibly insecure. Capricorns don't even have that good of a work ethic. They're just terrified of failure. Y'all only hate on Scorpios because you can't handle the truth. I said what I said. If you have a fire Mars, but especially an Aries Mars, you scare the shit out of me. Don't ever date an Aquarius man unless he's Harry Styles. Do better. Also, if you have an air moon, I'm sorry. Me too, though. Anyone with a Leo rising is automatically hot as fuck also scares the shit out of me. If you're a Pisces, this is your sign to stop drinking. Okay, that's all I have time for. Bye.
This is the astrology edition of No Nuance November, and no, I won't be arguing with anyone in the comments. Cancers with Gemini Mercuries are the ones you need to worry about. What Libra are y'all around that isn't confrontational? All Libras are confrontational. Leos might make everything about them, but so do Aries, and it's less charming. Geminis will literally lie with a straight face if it means not admitting they're wrong. Any Capricorn placement will literally throw you under the bus if it means getting ahead. I think JoJo Siwa is the perfect example of how childish Tauruses can be. I think Abby Lee Miller is the perfect example of how petty and judgmental Virgos can be. Sammy from Jersey Shore is the perfect example of an underdeveloped Pisces. If you don't become friends with someone simply because of their sun sign, I'm sorry, you're a little bitch. Aquariuses are the perfect example of I'm just different. Scorpio might be the first water sign to blow up, but they're not the most deadly.
No Nuance November, where I give you my hot takes with absolutely no context. All superhero shows on the CW are good until its third and fourth season. The X-Men are the strongest team in the Marvel Universe. They're also the best. DC's animated content will always be better than its live action. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, in that order. X-Men First Class is the best X-Men movie ever. The CW tried really hard to make Green Arrow Batman. Like, Oliver Queen has no business fighting Ra's al Ghul. It made no sense for Professor Hulk to be in Endgame. Say what you want about Watchmen, it is like the top 3 most accurate comic book movies ever. Batfleck could have been the best Batman if he didn't kill people. Wolverine should not be in the first MCU X-Men movie. If I see him, I'm shoving a radiator pipe up my ass.
No Nuance November, Black Parents Edition. Let's get started. Aggression is a learned behavior. So if y'all are out here arguing, cussing, and spitting at each other just about every day, why the fuck are y'all acting like y'all don't know where y'all children's aggression issues come from? Y'all gonna wear out that one Bible verse talking about thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father, but y'all don't want to say nothing about that part that says that you should not be provoking your child to anger, which is literally all some of you do. You be cussing out your child, calling them out their name, fighting them like they a stranger on the street, but then wondering why they don't respect you. Sit the fuck down. Stop telling your child's business to the fucking family. Oh my fucking God, y'all are doing nothing but crumbling the trust that your child has in you. Then you wonder why they don't tell you shit now. How you treat your kids when they're young will determine how they treat you when you're old. The most neglectful parents love talking about who gonna take care of me when I'm old. Jesus, bitch. The fuck? And finally, picking your partner over your child is literally the most disgusting thing that you can do as a person. Not as a parent, as a person.
Welcome to No Nuance November. I don't know who invented this trend, but I love sharing my unsolicited opinions with no context. First off, Thanksgiving is the best holiday because of the food, obviously. However, turkey is the worst meat. Plain milk is disgusting, but dairy products like cheese and ice cream are chef's kiss. Cereal is a chilled breakfast soup. Also, it's not good. I think people are going to be mad at me for that one. You cannot convince me that blue cheese is edible. Absolutely not. No one on earth scares me more than the people who put ketchup directly on top of fries like this. Sis, what's going on at home? Finally, romaine is canceled. If I wanted a tasteless lettuce, I'd have iceberg. It's crunchier.
No Nuance November, but I'm gonna piss off some Christians.
There's not a single white person in the Bible.
Jesus was a brown radical leftist who fought to overturn his tyrannical government.
God is non-binary.
And you don't have to believe that they created the entire universe in order to have a relationship with them.
The US Constitution literally says that church and state are to be separate, yet Christianity is brought into politics all the time.
And if you make decisions solely based on your religion, you should not be in a place of power.
Eve was given logical, sound arguments to eat the apple, whereas Adam just ate it because it was offered to him.
Don't use God's name in vain doesn't only pertain to saying, oh my God, it also means using God's name to put other people down based on your own interpretation of what the Bible says.
Homophobia has absolutely no logic or reasoning.
The way a lot of Christians are obsessed over the US flag is idolization.
Hell is a metaphor.
Satanism is rooted in good morals.
Abortion is not murder.
Jesus was most likely queer.
Trump uses the Bible and Christianity as props to get you on his side.
And speaking of Trump, why do you idolize him? Isn't that part of your 10 Commandments?
And no, I'm not explaining anything.
No Nuance November with a dermatologist. Acne is an actual medical condition, and far too many of you are wasting your time listening to social media skincare experts rather than going to a professional and getting the help that you need. Fungal acne isn't a real diagnosis. It's kind of messed up that so many celebrities release skincare lines based on the credibility that they have beautiful skin without acknowledging all of the professional help that they've gotten over the years. You can't do a credible product review by just looking at the ingredient list. You actually have to use it. Too many of you are worried about fragrance in your products when you should be worried about the irritation that you're causing from all the actives you're using. If you're truly concerned with the sustainability of your products, the best thing that you can do is buy less stuff. If somebody has good cosmetic work done, you won't be able to tell. Skincare influencers should be all different ages, not just in their 20s.
No Nuance November, Teacher Edition. Let's get it! The chill teachers who let you sleep and be on your phone all hour actually don't care about you. Teachers who call your parents only when you're doing something wrong don't care about your success in class. They just don't want to be aggravated by you. Teachers who have zero tolerance policies and kick you out of class instantaneously would rather see you in prison than in college. Teachers who believe they shouldn't smile in class until Thanksgiving are actually just insecure about their own behavior management. If a teacher returns an assignment to you with a bad grade on it but no feedback, they don't actually want you to do better on that assignment next time. If a teacher doesn't ask you what you know about a topic before they teach you about that topic, they believe you know nothing. You speak another language, including AAVE, and your teacher tells you to speak proper English, they're racist. Teachers who use possessive pronouns like my class instead of collective pronouns like our class don't actually see you as an individual. TikTok teachers who are silent on this app when it comes to issues of race, class, and equity are actually complicit in systems of oppression.
No Nuance November. Here's my take. You can't claim to love somebody platonically or romantically if you continue to remain close to people who have deeply hurt them.
No Nuance November, let's go! Twizzlers isn't good. Like at all. If you are drinking milk any other time besides the time you are eating cereal, you belong in prison. The Polar Express is about nothing. Like that movie has no plot. Having children with someone is a bigger commitment than marrying them. I said it, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Sweet potatoes are better than regular potatoes. White colonialism is like the root of a lot of society's problems today. Beer is disgusting, and everyone who drinks it on purpose is just pretending. Oatmeal is good, and if you think otherwise, it's time to grow up. Almost everything in this life is fake. Why can't we just do what we want? The yellow Laffy Taffy is not that bad. Stop being rude. She's not that bad. Coffee with no creamer should be illegal. Part 2 of No Nuance November. Let's get started. Black parents, feeding and sheltering your children is the literal bare minimum. No, you do not get special treatment or extra credit for doing what the law literally tells you to do. Go sit your dumb ass down. Black mothers, bullying and or living vicariously through your daughters will not fix your past. Your traumas that happened before that girl was even there is not her responsibility. Go sit your dumb ass down. Black fathers, having a hypersexual son is not an accomplishment. You should not be proud that your 13-year-old is having more sex than you. Go sit your dumb ass down. Black mothers, the father not wanting to be with you is not a reason to put him on child support and or deem him a bad parent. The past is the motherfucking past. Let it go and raise your children. Go sit your dumb ass down. And lastly, black fathers, the mother should not have to pack a bag for the baby to come spend the weekend with you. Why the hell you don't have food, clothes, or anything else at your house? You a parent too. Go sit your dumb ass down. Like, comment, and share for part 3.
Welcome to No Nuance November K-pop edition, where I give my hot takes related to K-pop. Being a strictly boy group or girl group stan does not give you the right to shit on or judge each other. I feel like girl groups have a bigger variety of concepts because there's this pressure for them to reinvent themselves or else they're deemed as boring. But with that being said, regardless of the group, having a set concept is not a bad thing. It just means they found their style. Every single Everglow title track is amazing. You cannot justify the sexualization of underage idols. It's sick and it's wrong. Superhuman by NCT 127 is a work of art that deserved better. The K-pop industry needs to prioritize mental health rather than treating their idols like moneymakers. All of the hate that Jennie got in 2018 makes me sick to my stomach, and if you did that, you're a part of the problem, and get off my page. 𝗫𝗽𝗆 by Luna is a modern classic. Stray Kids and G-Friend have the prettiest light sticks. More and More is my favorite Twice title track.
It's No Nuance November. That means post your hot takes with no context and run.
Let's do this Filipino edition. If you're Filipino but wouldn't date darker skin tone Filipinos, that's not a preference. That's colorism. Not supporting gay people doesn't make you more Christian. Letting your bread is a good vice president. Wearing a Uniqlo striped top and tie-cut shorts isn't fashion. Lumpia is overrated. And don't use top and bottom if you're straight, unless you like fingers up your guys with makeup are hot. Skinny people get body shamed too. No mom, it's not because I use the computer too much. Sinigang is superior to nilaga. Hating on Ben and Ben doesn't make you cool. Listening to Filipino rap music isn't judge. There are other sports other than men's basketball and women's volleyball. Using Grab isn't commute. I don't care what you say, it's not commute. And lastly, speaking English doesn't make you smart.
It's No Nuance November. That means post your hot takes with no context and run.
Homework is bullshit. Teachers should be able to teach you everything you need to know for the day in the period of time that they're given. I don't understand capital letters. They don't change the sound or meaning of the words, so they're kind of useless. I don't care how shitty of a person you are. I will always respect your pronouns, because I am better than to purposefully misgender a person because their opinions are different than mine. The term boys will be boys is a bullshit excuse that lets boys use their gender to get away with things that they should be punished for. When you're on your period, you put out more testosterone, so the guys who blame all of your actions on your period are actually just getting a taste of their own medicine. PE is bullshit. Everyone has different body types, different limits, and different body goals, and yet you're all held to the same standard. If someone's dealing with a personal issue and you say, well, other people have it worse, fuck you, because everyone handles things differently. Homophobia is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The Bible is a 2,000-year-old book that's been translated and rewritten multiple times, and has had words swapped out for other words that don't even mean the same thing, so it's completely lost its meaning, and we should probably do something about it.
No Nuance November, but it's just my fashion hot takes that nobody asked for. Off-white belts should have never been popular. They look horrible. I've never seen an outfit with an off-white belt that looks good, and why did I see them on display at Nordstrom literally last week? These bags wouldn't be cool if they didn't have a Prada logo on them. It's literally a nylon bag and people are losing their minds over it. This trend on Instagram where girls are buying a $300 Gucci sweatband and putting it on any and all hats that they own to make it look like a Gucci hat needs to stop. No fashion house will ever top the runway shows that were produced by Alexander McQueen himself. I can't think of a single time that Louis Vuitton has put a good look on a red carpet. They always look chaotic and very off. And finally, Rihanna is my Met Gala queen, with Blake Lively being in second place.
It's No Nuance November, and here are my hot takes. Guys that wear eyeliner and skirts, it doesn't make them gender fluid. Virginity is a social construct, so stop putting it up there. It really does not matter, babe. It's literally fake. There are more than two sexes, and there are more than two genders. Well, technically gender is a social construct, so it doesn't exist. Marriage is a complete trap. I am all about woman empowerment, but when that woman's position of power harms other people, babe, you can go. Abuse against women is extremely normalized, and it's not just physical, so check yourself. Also, these are only hot takes because we live under a cishet patriarchy, so...
Okay, so you guys seem to like the first one so much, so let's do another. No Nuance November, where I give you my hot takes with absolutely no context. Batman's no-kill rule is a very important part of who he is as a character. It's also absolute bullshit. I feel like the Star Wars prequels could have just been a 3-hour movie. Digimon Frontier is the best Digimon series. Santa Monica Studios really needs to make a Wonder Woman game. Vegeta should have been the one to beat Goku Black. 𝗺氘 is the best starter. Ezra Miller's Flash feels less like Barry Allen and more like Wally West when he was Kid Flash. Zack Snyder should make a Dragon Ball Z movie.
No Nuance November, Muslim edition. Terrorism has no religion. When a Muslim commits a crime, his religion is highlighted. When a non-Muslim commits a crime, mention of his religion is nowhere to be found. Islam does not make people make people violent. Islam is the easiest religion to practice. Islamophobia is very real. Just because something is a sin in my religion doesn't mean that I hate you for doing it. Stop telling Muslim women that they're oppressed, because you telling them they're oppressed is an oppression in itself. Muslim women cover their face and hair, not their brain. Okay, bye!
Here are some more of my hot takes for No Nuance November. HSN is like the Walmart of shopping channels, and QVC is like the Target of shopping channels. If you watched PBS Kids as a child, you probably had a certain level of emotional intelligence, partially because you watched PBS Kids, and partially because you probably dealt with some sort of emotional upheaval or trauma, and watching PBS brought you a sense of comfort. You were probably also highly sensitive. Not that I have any context for any of that there at all. Fuzzy blankets are better than fuzzy robes because they're more versatile, although fuzzy robes are more transportable. Queer people are better at answering questions than straight people because growing up we always had to have a running set of answers to any number of questions. Because saying Oprah is your celebrity crush in 7th grade is very transparent.
Posting our hot takes without context. You're supposed to say it with me.
Posting our hot takes. Why do they build houses with multiple rooms when we could just have one big room?
No, that's not. Where would the privacy be?
No, because like the one big room, I mean like downstairs you have your living room, your kitchen, the whole house was a lot bigger.
That's what open plan houses are. That's not even a hot take.
Why? I think we should have more open plan houses.
Basically it turns out we don't have any unpopular opinions, apart from Rose says hets are boring.
That's a popular opinion.
I'm a het. I painted my wall green. And then you just copied me.
So I guess I missed the first half of No Nuance November, so here are 15 hot takes rapid fire, and no, I will not be discussing these. I don't want to is a completely valid reason to not be vegetarian or vegan. Prisons should only exist as a last resort for violent offenders. Tarot and shadow work is not a replacement for therapy. Fingering someone with acrylic nails is not hard, y'all are just bad at fingering. We all need to be held accountable for our actions, even if those actions are caused by mental illness. If you're white and you use AAVE, I am embarrassed for you. If someone is complaining about something and you think that you have it worse, you don't have to say anything. The only thing that's cringe is cringe culture itself. And once-ler thirst posts. Wanting attention is normal, and we shouldn't hate people for it. Polyamory is not right for everybody, and that's okay. Fanfiction is a valid form of literature, and it should be celebrated. All fatphobia is rooted in racism, and actually that's not a hot take, that's just a fact. Also, skinny shaming is not the same as fatphobia. No matter what group you're talking about, 90% of the allies are going to be largely performative. And rioting is the most effective form of protest.
Here are some of my hot takes for No Nuance November. Ranch dressing is horrific. If you've ever experienced or dealt with dry scalp, you are incredibly resilient. If you ever had acne, particularly your senior year of high school when everybody else's skin was clearing up, you have character and possibly lingering depression. That might have been too much context. TJ Maxx is fancier than Marshall's, don't ask me why. Similarly, Panera and Home Goods give me the same vibes. Water is the most elite beverage. If you've never experienced terror in a middle school gym locker room, you have a certain level of blessing in your life. People who enjoy using the Stairmaster at the gym exist in a different universe.
So apparently it's Nuance November. Let's do this. If a couple breaks up and a girl gets a new boyfriend, everyone calls her a slut, a whore, and she moved on too fast. If the guy gets a new girlfriend, he's the man. Capricorns are stubborn and love money. There is a large margin of pornography that is actually rape and involves a minor. Kids who are making money off of YouTube should be protected because their parents are probably taking it all. I love red vines, but honestly, they kind of taste like wax. If you call yourself an influencer but don't use your platform to try to make a change in the world, you should probably stop calling yourself that.
Here's my take on No Nuance November, but each video the opinions get more controversial. Level 1. The show Friends and the way it's treated in American culture is literally the perfect analogy of white liberalism. Also, it's not funny. Harry Styles didn't invent gender fluidity in the music industry. Stop acting like you did. And finally, the argument over the legalization of abortion has literally never been about preserving the lives of children. Thank you.
No Nuance November, Astrology Edition. Cancers aren't the most manipulative sign of the zodiac. That's Capricorns. If a Gemini is gossiping about you, they probably don't actually like you. Geminis don't gossip about people they care about. Aries aren't the angriest sign of the zodiac. That's Cancers. Pisces aren't even psychic. They just pay attention when the rest of you guys fucking don't. Sagittarius can be total loners, whether it's because they don't want to socialize in the first place or because they drop all their friends at the drop of a hat. If you like Libras, it's probably because they tell you everything you want to hear. Tauruses aren't lazy, they love money, so you're probably just asking them to do something that's inconvenient for them. Scorpios aren't even jealous, you're probably just backing off from them too much because you're scared of how intense they are. Virgos aren't necessarily organized, they just live in a space that makes sense for their mind, which could be a total fucking mess if that's how their mind feels. Scorpios are also one of the most overrated signs of the zodiac. I said it. Leos like attention, but more importantly, they want validation. They want someone to affirm to them that what they're doing is good and impressive because they don't believe in themselves.
It's No Nuance November, here are my takes. You can never equate being called skinny to being called fat. If you've ever made someone feel bad for not being vegan or vegetarian, you're a piece of shit. Every single person on this app that I have seen describe someone's style as Y2K does not know what Y2K means. Emojis should never be used in your dating profile. Ever. Ever. That's it. Unless you know the person, never comment on someone's body. Ever. Not on this app, not in real life. Never. Living zero waste is not a thing. Stop making people feel like shit for not being able to afford living zero waste. And on that note, stop making people feel like shit for buying fast fashion. That might be the only opportunity they have to have a few cute clothes, and being able to afford to shop slow fashion is a privilege. Finally, I see a lot of people equating being LGBT to being a person of color. Those aren't the same thing. You're a racist and you're gay. They don't cancel out.
No Nuance November, so here are my fucking opinions. Having ugly feet is only fucking okay if you're a dancer. If you tell me you have ugly feet because you are a dancer, I respect it. If you just have ugly feet, get that shit together. And why a lot of black people are ignoring Black History Month, because it's like, it's just a month, it should be all year round, but because of our political climate and COVID, I think we should just start celebrating the fucking month to its fullest before everyone starts to try to ignore us again. If I was white, I would have had over 100,000 followers on TikTok by now. Not that it matters, but if I was, I would, because I'm already hot. A lot of the girls I know have pretty privilege. Just do not ask the boys in their town. That's also me. Do not ask the boys in my town if I'm hot, because I am, so don't ask them. Don't go to therapy until they make therapy specifically for children who have parents that come from foreign countries that expect a lot from them because they didn't have that as a kid, so they put their projections onto them. Selena Gomez never fucking said she was fat. You're the same person that gave her all the hype and now you're getting mad that she has it. Who cares if Addison and Charlie are getting money for dancing? That's how they chose to live their lives, so find a way to live yours. Because I want to